gonna say hi, Obi. This is Obi. Obi is our pug. Obi's gonna help us today with nail and paw pad care. I had the mat on the table, which is always good for you to be able to have something that the dogs can't slip on, but it makes it kind of difficult for you to see. So that's the only reason I took it off. But what I wanted you to see was the differences on how his nails looked. So these nails in the front, this paw is actually touching the table, almost to the table. And these in the back, I don't know if you can see, but they are far from the table. So his back paws, can you see that? His back paw, and this is what I'm gauging it as. If the nail is touching the table, it's too long. Okay, so these are well away from the table, so they are totally fine. But these that are almost touching the table, we're going to take a little bit on those, and then you always want to make sure you don't miss the dew claw. The dew claw is inside right here. It's their thumbnails, so you want to make sure you get that as well. Now, as you can see, he doesn't like me touching his nails. No dog loves you touching their nails. It is what it is. Oh, that's what's moving. Hold on just a second. Let's, oh, there it is. Okay. 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 Alrighty, so let's try and move that a little bit. Okay, so let's look. And as you can see, these nails are touching the table. So we do want to touch those nails. Now, I know that there's lots of you that can do those nail clippers, or there's most of you that, like me, I don't like the nail clippers. So what I use is a nail grinder, just like a Dremel. I personally, I can't do the nail clippers, and it takes me more time trying to stop the bleeding on a dog because I clipped too short than to just Dremel their nails. So that's what I do. Anytime you're going to be doing anything like this with the cutting, and even with the clippers before, I don't think I mentioned it, but they have Stipic powder, which put on a cut will stop the bleeding. So you do want to get you some Stipic powder to stop bleeding, just in case you do go too far. Now, some of you have dogs that have nails that are white, so you can see the quick and it's not as difficult, but Alexa, off. Yes, that's fun. But if you do not have a dog with white nails, like my dog who has black nails, it makes it really difficult for you to be able to know when you need to stop. So for me, he's already got all kinds of hair right there. Let's see if I can get just a little closer for you. Okay. So I don't know if you can see in here. Let's see if we can. Oh, okay. So you can see the circle on the bottom. Now this one, I can almost see the circle, but most of them you can't. So that means I have a little bit of leeway to Dremel a little bit higher on this. And again, I'm just looking for these nails to not touch the table. For me, that's good enough because I do nail care. Oh, probably 2 or 3 times a week. I grind the nails down. So I keep up on my dog's nails a lot, especially if you're able to do that. And if you're able to do this 2 or 3 times a week, honestly, your dog is going to calm down about getting their nails done. And as you can see, he calmed down once he understood what I was doing. So that was good. I think you can still see. And a lot of times, if you do go too close, they're going to let you know. So and again, I'm just getting it, just the very tips off. One more. Shh. And I'm not going to do all of them because this does take a minute. Now, he didn't like that one. And as you can see, that's why. Let me see if you can see it. Let me show you. Oh, it flipped around. Sorry. There we go. As you can see, this one is nowhere near the table. So that's why when I tried to cut on that one, he was like, no, 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 no. So that gave me great indication that I didn't need to clip that one at all. I am going to try and get this dew claw just because I'm in here already on this one paw, and then I know I just need to go back and do the other three. So yeah, I use a Dremel. It's a lot quicker for me just because I know I'm not going to cut him. I've not made a dog bleed. I think maybe once. I think there was a one time, but I'm telling you, every time I was at the shop and I tried to use the clippers, I just am not good at it. So if you're good at it, great, good for you. If not, get a Dremel. It's so much easier. Okay, so trying to do the nail grinding, trying to do it at least 2 or 3 times a week, but then you're also wanting to keep track of their pads. Okay, so looking at his pads, stop, shh. He's got good pads. We don't do, we're not doing any walking that much right now, obviously. But if your dog has really dry pads, or as you can see him, he's got these great big wrinkles, right? And he's got them here and he's got them on the back of his neck. And so what we have to do for him is we have to do care for those. And so what I have that you might be able to be interested in, I created a paw pad balm for dogs, and it's all natural. It has lavender scent. Now lavender is it helps to soothe any irritated skin. It's great to prevent infection or from over scratching. It's full spectrum, so it's antibacterial, antiseptic, and antimicrobial. So if you're interested in getting any paw balm to be able to keep your dog's paws from getting super dry, or to be able to keep moisture going on inside of these rolls on a dog that you may have that has that, or any dry skin areas, I recommend this just because it's all natural and it's something that smells good, so they don't mind it on them, and it's safe for them. So for them, I just go ahead and I rub it into the paw because I know it's safe for him, and I make sure that I get all the paws. Make sure you don't forget his little elbow up here. Sometimes they forget, you guys forget that one, and that one, they come in and they're super dry on that one. And then again, he needs care on his little, it's so hard to even get in that little roll. His little roll. So you want to make sure that you're getting all of these spots so that they don't get any kind of dry patches. When you keep it moist and you keep it clean and looked after, then they're able to, you're able to catch anything that might be, that you might need to see ahead of time. So you don't want to wait until there's an issue before you catch things like that. So that's our paw balm that we use on the dogs. And then of course, when it's hot, you always want to make sure that you test the ground with the back of your hand to see if it's too hot to the touch. And if it is, then you want to have boots on the dog that are breathable in the heat. Let me talk to you now. Boots on the dog that are breathable in the heat, but that are enclosed when it's hot, when it's cold. The reason is they sweat through their paws. So if you do not have any kind of ventilation for their paws and it's super hot, then what happens is they could overheat. So you don't want them to overheat. They do sweat through their paws. So if it's super hot, they can have a covering on their paw, but they need to have it meshed so that the paw can breathe. If it's super cold, then it can be fully enclosed because their body temperature is going to be cold and they won't be sweating, right? And then the last one, I think that was it. That might have been it. Oh, so now on a dog that has the long hair, and you could barely see any hair coming out between his paws, but you may have a long-haired dog that has all kinds of hair growing between its toes. And what I recommend for a dog like that is our brush. You would get your brush. There we go. Oh, not that brush. You would get your brush. I don't have one. Oh, this is his brush. You would get your brush just so the hair stands out. And you would get your rounded scissors and you would just go along the pads and trim that hair that's sticking out. So you just want to brush it so the hairs stick out, and then go ahead and just, with your rounded scissors, cut that extra hair so these paws are exposed. Otherwise, they're slipping around on the floor because they're walking on hair, and they can't get traction because their paws are covered with hair. So that's the easiest way to be able to do that. And once I have one of the candidates, the Shih Tzus here, I'll show you how to do their paws as well. So that's pretty much it. If you're looking at getting a paw pad balm, we have that for you. If you're looking at getting a Dremel to keep the dog's nails dremeled at least 2 to 3 times a week, the paw pad care, I think I do that, I would say 3 or 4 times a week. It's not something, it's whatever you need. I mean, if the dog is super dry and you're needing to catch up, then do it as much as you need to. But if the dog is just needing maintenance, you'll see, maybe once or twice a week is all you need. But for him, we have to really watch the wrinkles, and we have to watch any dry spots he gets. So thank you guys so much. I look forward to seeing you guys on Friday, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.